All right, this is lesson 18, which is focused on the area of two-dimensional shapes. So on this first page, you're going to see that the area formulas that you need to know are all listed right here, so you can flip back to this at any time. You also have a reference sheet on the very back of your front page, so it's in yellow, so you can always go back and forth to that as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and start using these formulas. All right, so the first thing we've got is a rectangle. So our figure is shown right here. We've got that our area formula is length times width or base times height. Either or would work the same way. I always write my formula first, and I expect you to do the same. So write your formula first. Area equals length times width. And that's just a cursive L, cursive W, so that you don't confuse it with a 1. Okay. So now I know I've got 10.2 and 3. So off to the side, I just like to tell myself, well, I'm going to say that the length is 10.2 and the width is 3. Then I'm going to plug it in. So 10.2 times 3. And I'm finding the area, so I'm just going to multiply those together in the calculator. So I've got 30.6, and since this is area, my units will be squared, so centimeters squared. Let's go ahead and find the area for my square. So again, square is length times width or base times height. A square, remember, is unique that every single side is exactly the same measurement. So every side, length and width, are both 40. So that means length will be plugged in with 40, width will be replaced with 40. So I'm going to have 40 times 40. I'm going to multiply that out in my calculator. I'm going to get 1,600 or 1,600 centimeters squared. Let's try the next one. We have a parallelogram, which means it's a total of 4 sides where the sides across from each other are going in the same directions. And they're the same length. So let's go ahead. Area equals base times height. And it says, notice that height is vertical, not slanted. So you never want this slanted height here. Okay. So we've got that our base is 8 inches. Our height is 5 inches. So we're going to multiply them together. 8 times 5, which is 40 inches squared. Next up, our triangle area equals 1/2. I forgot the equal sign. Base times height. My base is 5. My height is 8, and I'm going to plug them in. 1/2 times 5 times 8. Now I like to say multiply 5 and 8 first, then take half of that. So half of 40 would be 20 centimeters squared. And last but not least is my trapezoid, which is probably the most complicated one just because it has multiple different pieces. So my area formula for this is 1/2 of the height times the first base plus the second base. So I need to figure out what the height is. And remember, your height is the vertical length, not the slanted height. So that would be 4. And then base 1 and base 2. This 1 and 2, those are called something called subscripts, which just is another way to help you organize your work. And it really does not matter where you plug in the first base or the second base. So I'm just going to go from top to bottom. So I'm going to say the first base is 5, second base is 8, and I'm going to plug that in. 1/2 of 4 times 5 plus 8. Now be very careful and focus on your order of operations when you're using this formula. You want half of 4, which is 2, and you have to add up 5 and 8 first, so times 13. Then you can multiply everything together. So you're going to get 26 meters squared. All right, next page. It says finding missing dimensions given our area. So now we're going to be using our area formulas just in an opposite way. So we want to figure out what our formula is first, and then we'll go from there. So it says the area of quadrilateral ABCD is 12 square units. Find x. So remember, if it's a quadrilateral, this is a parallelogram here. So area equals base times height. They've told me that my area is 12 square units. So A is 12. If I look at this coordinate plane, this is helping me figure out what the base is. So if I count from A to B, I jump 1, 2 spaces. So the base is 2. And I am asked to find x, which is the height. So I'm going to plug those into my formula. So 12 equals 2 times x. I'm going to solve for x. So divide both sides by 2. My 2's cancel. 12 divided by 2 is 6. And 6 is x. Number 2, the area of my triangle is 14 square units. Find the length of side BC. All right, so I am given the area here. Let's write my formula. Area equals 1/2 base times height. They have told me that the area, or A, is 14. And I've got 2 other variables here. I have to find BC. Well, B to C is what I would consider the base, so that's going to be x. And my height, again, I'm going to count. So I'm going from this point here, because remember, I want the vertical height, not a slant. I'm going to just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So my height is 7 units, and I'm going to plug everything in. So 14 equals 1/2 times x times 7. All right, I'm going to take half of 7 before I do anything else. So 14 is going to stay the same for now. Half of 7 is 3.5. And I'm going to solve for x. So isolate the variable by dividing both sides by 3.5. Number divided by itself cancels because it's just 1. And 14 divided by 3.5, if you do that in your calculator, will be 4. So our base is 4. All right, that is all for this lesson. Good luck on your homework.